on Rate Your Peers if you're ready to complete that assignment. And what you'll notice is that the number crunch has now moved up top. And over on the right hand side, you see it says, how have you been rated? So you'll see your blast right here. And then under it, it says your blast rating average. Once you guys start rating each other's blast, you will see an average number of stars here. Based on the ratings you received. Right now there are no stars and it says 0 because no one's rated my particular response, and really no one needs to because it's just for modeling purposes. But your response would be here. So that's why you'll want to come back and check this later to see how your response has been rated by your peers. But then over on the left hand side, you'll see it says you get to rate your peers. So here's an example of a peers blast. What I did is I logged in as a different test student and I typed this. So then you would rate this particular response, and if you look down here at the bottom where it says status, it says you have reviewed 0 blasts. You have 1 blast available to review. And you must review at least 5 blasts and receive at least 5 to make the top 10. So if you'll look down here, top 10 blasts. So based on the ratings you give your peers and the ratings you receive, you could make the top 10. But you have to review at least 5 and get at least 5 reviews. So this, you may not see yourself in the top 10 blasts very often because we don't really have that many students in our class right now. So, but the important thing for you to know is this part right here. It says you have reviewed 0 blast. You haven't reviewed anybody. You haven't done a peer review. And right now, one student has done a blast that's available for you to review. Okay, let's go back to our directions. Because we created our blast, now we have to rate at least 2 of your peers. So once you submit your blast, which is what we did, you get that little pop-up and you'll be able to rate your peers. So let's go back because we have to review at least 2. But as we notice right here, we only have 1 blast available to review, which is this one right here. So once you rate this one, if there's another one available, it will automatically pop up right here in this box. So it goes to the next one automatically. So right now we read the blast, then we give it a rating. 1 star would be inadequate, 5 would be exceptional. Now, if you read closely, it says select a star that reflects the insight of the blast, whether you agree with it or not. So this isn't about whether this blast, if you agree with it or not, whether it matches your opinion on the topic. It's not about that. It's about, did your peers, take the time and reflect on this? Did they do their research, and was their insight on this topic at a high level? So for this particular blast, it's a model blast. But if this was actually someone's response, I would give it a 1. It's inadequate. It does not, it does not reflect or answer the question in the blast, and it wasn't very thoughtful at all. So I could also add an optional note, like more research may have, been helpful. But you don't have to put anything here, just so that you know. Although I would recommend you typing something. Remember, we're not going to be rude, we're not going to be negative, we're not going to be bullying each other. I can see everything you do, and I can see who did it, so it has to be very appropriate. And if you can't say it in a nice and positive way, then just don't say it at all. But once you do that, you click submit, and now you'll see there are no blasts available to rate right now. So Your directions over here said you have to rate at least 2. So now you're just going to have to wait until someone else responds. Then you'll go back in there and you'll rate someone else. Then down here, here's where the graph pops up. This is what I really like because these are the results from your quick poll question. You'll see we answered this particular one right here. So that's why it's showing 100% because we're the only ones right now that have, responded to that. But once you guys start responding, you'll see these different colors based on your responses. All right. So let's go back to our directions. Now, if we have completed all of these steps, including rating at least 2 peers, then we can move on to the next step. And you can click next, or you can go back to your modules and click on the next thing, which is submit your blast for Eat This. This is important because unless you complete this step, I'm not going to know that you completed your assignment in StudySync, and I'm not going to be able to grade it. I won't know it's ready. So in order to get your points for this assignment and your grade, you need to do this step. It says once you've completed the blast assignment, Eat This in StudySync, you have to let me know so I can grade it for you. You will do this by typing a message below. You can just say, I'm finished with the assignment and it's ready for grading. Only submit the assignment once you've completed all parts of the assignment, including the 2 peer reviews. Okay? And for you guys, it doesn't show up on my screen, but right under this, there would be a text box where you would type your answer and then submit it so that I know it's ready to be graded. What you'll also see is there's a rubric for this. This is how I will grade your response. So blast response to prompt. So did your response to that question meet these requirements? So to get 15 points, it has to be a thoughtful response and has to answer the prompt completely. If your response has nothing to do with the prompt or really doesn't answer it, then you're not going to get all your points. You would get somewhere around here if you actually completed it, but it wasn't thoughtful or it didn't address the prompt. You would get 9 points. If you didn't complete it at all, you would get 0. And then your peer reviews, if you complete at least 2 peer reviews, you'll get 5 points. If you complete 1, you'll get 3. And if you didn't complete any, you'll get 0. And then grammar, spelling, capitalization, and punctuation, very important. We are in a professional educational environment and that is required. So if you used proper grammar, spelling, capitalization, and punctuation, you will earn 5 points. If you did not, you will earn 0 points. So then once you type your answer and submit it, you will actually be completely done with your blast assignment.